So next up, we got CC Rants. I'm going to rant about the heat in this fucking room.
Dude, I am baking under this
So
light.
normally it's hot in here on a good time. So we
Look
got
at this video. I'm like white.
We usually record in the daytime, so we get sunlight coming in here. I'd like to stop. It's nighttime tonight, so we have I have these studio lightings that I bought.
We brought the sun in,
and it's it's like a million. I am shiny. It's yeah, it's like a Greek bath. It's like a Turkish bathhouse in here. Like,
dude, I forget what we're ranting about.
We're gonna rant about. We're not ranting about the light, but that is fucking some
That is a
shit.
rant, though.
Yeah, we are gonna rant about remasters / remakes versus original.
Right.
So we're playing Beyond Good and Evil this month.
You said we're doing remasters and remakes?
Yeah, we'll mix them together. Or do you want to not?
Those are two very, very different things.
All right, we'll do remasters versus remakes versus original.
All right, let's go.
We'll see what happens.
You start.
So we're talking about this month. We're playing Beyond Good and Evil.
Yes.
It was originally released on the GameCube, Xbox original flavor, and PS2. Yep. And they did an HD re-release for PS3 and Xbox 360. I said GameCube first, didn't I?
I don't know. Maybe you did.
Thought I did. Did an HD re-release for PS3 and Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you're in the club. Play whichever version you want. It doesn't matter. Yep. The question that this brought up, it's also the vote of the month on the forums, which is what is your favorite remaster? Not remake, remaster. So it brings up the question because Lo was asking should she play the PS2 version or the HD version, and Kevin responded with it's a tough choice between the shiny newness and the old original flavor. I think was something along those lines.
Something of that nature, yeah.
So that's the question: is what do you prefer? Do you prefer to play the new remastered, remade version, or do you prefer the original?
It depends on for me if they've made changes, and if they've made changes, are they for the best? My biggest example that I can think of right now is Silent Hill 2. They took away a lot of the fog, which was a part of the PS1 one due to its limitations for the most part. A lot less atmospheric, I found. I think it was you I seen playing it originally way back when. Huge difference, big difference in that game. Didn't like that. I don't know what they've changed for Beyond Good and Evil because I haven't played either of them, to be honest, yet. But similarly, if they've removed some atmosphere or something from the game, I don't like it. Yeah, so if you think you go in Shadow of the Colossus, it's just up-resed. It looks a lot better. I have no problems with that. I know some people say the original, you should play the original, but...
So what if the changes are for the better? Resident Evil Remake.
Okay, so remakes, that's a completely different thing.
All right, so just remaster. Well, if it's technically, if they change things, isn't it a remake?
No, if it's the same game, they just fix bugs and stuff, I guess. But I don't know.
So where does that line change then? Where does that... So you're saying...
If they change the models of the characters...
It's a remake.
No, that's still not a remake. Like, in a remaster, they can completely change the remodel. Or the model, sorry. And it might not look as good to me. I might still then go back... If the changes aren't that drastic... But, I mean... It all depends on how much has changed for me to say whether I would play the remaster or not. Remake's completely different. To take the first Resident Evil and the GameCube one... There's a lot of differences in that game.
One's awesome and one is cheese central.
Well, debatable, but see, I love the original, don't get me wrong, but I consider these two separate games, and I love them both.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't consider... What's another remake that comes to mind?
A remake?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know, man. I'm not very prepared for this.
I know, me neither.
Let me think here. Twin Snakes.
Okay. You see, Twin Snakes is very true to the original for the most part. So I would probably consider them the same game. It's more of a remaster, but it's not.
Ocarina of Time, 3D.
Okay.
Majora's Mask, 3D.
Yeah, this is
Star Fox 64,
big changes.
3D.
Big changes in Majora's Mask on 3DS and the N64.
Improvements.
Way better improvement, I find. But I can see where people could argue you should play the original. In this case, it's changes that I like.
But why? Why? If you have a superior product, why play something that's inferior?
I don't know. But
if you've got an amazing wife or husband at home who loves you and cares for you and you've been together forever, why risk that on an inferior product at a bar downtown because you're drunk.
That is completely different.
Same thing.
But you shouldn't. But, I mean, some people will say play the original to get the true, authentic feeling, right? But in that case, when the changes are good...
So that might turn you off, though. If the original is garbage or almost unplayable, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people who just can't do tank controls. So you could tell somebody you should play the original Resident Evil or the original Silent Hill, and they'll sit down, or Silent Hill 2, I think was the remake one, and they'll be like, you know what, man, I can't, fuck this, I don't even want to try it. And then they'll just skip the remake altogether.
The remake isn't tank controls?
You have the option to turn them on or off.
Oh, wow. No, you need tank controls.
And this is the problem.
That's no longer a remaster. That is completely changing the game. I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. If the changes are too drastic, they have to be...
But what if they're changes for the better?
From the core of the game, you know what I mean? You see, here's another thing. When I first started playing Majora's Mask on 3DS, I thought, this is too much change. There are too many things changed with this to get the real authentic feeling. Yeah. And then I ended up loving that one way more. But it turns out it might be because that's easy. It's the easier version.
Yeah, but if you're getting an experience that you enjoy, isn't that what matters?
Oh, definitely. But as if somebody who was a fan of the original Majora's Mask, I could understand why they would say play that one first.
Shouldn't they just be happy that somebody is experiencing this game that they love, even if it's in a different format?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you just be happy that someone is doing, like, it's not a case of, oh, you have to play it this way first or it's wrong. Somebody is enjoying the story and the game, if it's slightly different or slightly easier, whatever the case is, they're enjoying it. Shouldn't you just you should revel in the fact that, hey, somebody else is going to love this thing that I love.
I would agree with that.
Even if they don't love it exactly the same way that you do,
yeah,
or they don't love the same version that you do. It's like music. Some people love live albums, and some people love studio albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make one person less of an AC/DC fan or more of an AC/DC fan if they only listen to live or only listen to studio?
Not in my opinion.
You know what I mean?
But yeah. Another one is, well, look at Mario All-Stars. They had the first 3 Mario... I think that was like the first... Would that be a remaster or a remake? I don't even know at this point.
A port.
But if you like Mario 3 on All-Stars, that's great. But you can save essentially in that game. You can't save in the original.
Oh, so those people aren't as good then?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I can see why people would say you should play the original. But I mean, it's all different flavor. People like different things. You know what I mean?
Because like for me right now, I really really enjoy the Resident Evil series, and I loved the first Resident Evil when we played it.
Yeah.
After playing the remake, I could never go back to it.
It's so good. I think the remake is still tank controls too.
I think you have the option to turn them on or off.
No, not in the remake. Maybe like the PC HD one now, but the GameCube one you can't. It's tank controls.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is the ideal Resident Evil one to play.
Oh yeah, because you can set your right trigger as your run button.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
But man, that is the best Resident
Evil. So yeah, I don't know. I think.
I don't know either, man. I don't know. It's a tough one.
And then you get into the situation where they're doing remasters of games that are less than a year old. The Last of Us, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yes, it's opening up to a market of people who might not have had it. You bought a PS4 doesn't mean you had a PS3. You bought an Xbox One doesn't mean you had an Xbox 360.
Right.
So you're getting an opportunity to play these games that you might have missed.
Yeah. So I don't care about that. Go ahead, remaster.
You know what I mean?
Do you care about that?
Well, I don't. No, I really don't.
Yeah.
But
people do get upset about it, though.
Well, I know a lot of times people can be upset that the game companies are releasing remasters. Like, give us something new. But if you had something that sold extremely well, that a lot of people experienced, that maybe not a lot of other people have experienced, why not give them an opportunity to do it? And if you have a system that can do it better, does it not make sense to allow them to upgrade it? I think you should just be happy that more people are experiencing the thing that you love.
Here's what it comes down to.
And if you don't want it, you don't want to play it, then just don't buy it.
That's what I was going to say. You have the choice. That's what all this is about. If you don't like, the changes, then just play the original.
Yeah.
But don't get upset because other people are not going to get the opportunity. You should be, I would think you should be supporting it.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me is if I like original Ocarina of Time and you really like Ocarina of Time 3D, your liking that version doesn't diminish the joy that I get from my version.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand completely.
And it shouldn't, if that happens, if you're in a situation where you really love something and somebody else loves a different version of it and that ruins your love for it, email us at cartridgebros@gmail.com. We'll talk that out because that's...
You know what next week we should rant about?
Heat?
Man, it's hot. Using cheats and guides and stuff in games.
Oh, yes, that is next week's rant, because I have a big one for that.
It is so hot under this light.
It is incredible. So next up, we're going to move on to CC Icebox or something. This is ridiculous.
CC Answers.
CC Answers. So
let's get answering.
So first up,